Coming up on Chief TV's Winter Show, a look at this year's Cherokee Idol, Air, Do You Know What It Stands For? And a recap of the girls' swim season and how Cherokee advisors are preparing for the trip, complete with tips to ensure seniors have a good time.
That and more right here on LDTV, so stay tuned.
Hello, and welcome to the Chief TV Show 2017 Winter Edition. I'm Chris Cato.
And I'm Jack Lambert. If you ask any seniors, one of the biggest events they look forward to is the annual trip to Disney. I caught up with the class of 2017 advisor, Mrs. Terry Wood, to find out what goes into planning such a large excursion and how seniors can make the most of their time in Florida. Seniors at Cherokee High School will be attending a class trip to Walt Disney World starting Sunday, April 2nd until Wednesday, April 5th. Seniors at Cherokee have been going to Disney World for more than 30 years. Mrs. Wood, who is one of the advisors of the trip, was able to tell me why Disney World is a popular tradition for seniors at Cherokee.
In 1978, I believe, was the first graduating class, and they actually went to Disney that year, because I remember my sister was in that class, and so they've been going now, we're talking over 30 years. As long as the school's been open, they've been going to Disney as their senior trip.
Advisors Mrs. Wood and Mr. Walsh work very hard to make sure everything is ready to go before the trip.
After everybody does their room sign-ups and gets into their groups of 4, then the organizers of the trip, the administrators, then take all that information and they, work it out strategically to put, this equal amount of students on different charter flights, and then split up the chaperones and the administrators so that we have everything smooth for moving from Philadelphia to Orlando.
Planning a trip can be stressful. Here are some tips from advisors Mrs. Wood to help prepare you for a successful trip.
Try to think about what your arrangements for down in Disney are going to be. If you want to make reservations for character breakfast or dinners, you want to make sure that you don't make anything too early on the first day getting down, because you don't know exactly what's going to happen with your travel plans. But you want to go ahead and do some of those arrangements before you get down there. And then the most important tip that I can tell the seniors that we always say is get a good night's sleep the night before we leave. The first day in Disney is a long day. You're at Cherokee early, then you're flying to Orlando, you're spending the day in the park, and you don't get back into your rooms till late that night. So get a good night's sleep, because you're gonna be tired by the end of that first day.
This is the 39th year of Cherokee seniors attending a class trip to Walt Disney World. This is a time to make new memories with your friends and visit the happiest place on earth. To stay up to date on the latest developments for the senior trip, make sure to check your school email often, as well as pay attention to any reminding texts. But whether or not you plan to head down to Disney, all seniors are invited to participate in this year's Senior Week. During the 5 days, you can see seniors dressed up accordingly to different themes to get pumped for the big trip. The themes this year are Hawaii Day, Animal Kingdom Day, Dress Up for a Safari or as a Tacky Tourist, Hollywood Studios Day, Dress Like a Movie Star or for the Red Carpet, Epcot Day, Pick a Country or Dress for the Olympics, and Disney Day.
Each year, 20 students get the chance at stardom and cash prize. The annual Cherokee Idol Showcase returned this year, much to the excitement of the student community. How's the event organized and who took home top honors? Mackenzie Rabinowitz takes us down to the Performing Arts Center to find out.
Why don't you be you and I'll be me?
On January 17, 2017, 20 singers sang their hearts out on this very stage at Cherokee Idol.
In Cherokee Idol, 5 contestants make it to the second round. Mr. Fortunato really enjoys being a Cherokee Idol judge.
It's just fun. It's a good time to see the kids in an element singing where you wouldn't see them normally perform, especially if they're not in Cherokee Theater or something like that. So for those reasons, I would say that I stuck with it for 5 years.
I would like to congratulate our 5 finalists this year: Kaylee Corrado, Kenzie Aldaba, Kyle Kelly,
You my lover.
Liz Koch,
Deep down I know this never works.
and a huge congratulations to our 2017 Cherokee Idol winner, Morgan Lohr.
Only dove was moving too, and every breath we drew was hallelujah.
Great job to everyone who made Cherokee Idol this year. We hope to see more new faces and talent next year.
For more information about Cherokee Idol, contact Mr. Lee at slee@lrhsd.org, Mr. Fortunato at rfortunato@lrhsd.org, or Ms. Snodgrass at nsnodgrass@lrhsd.org. For Chief TV, I'm Mackenzie Rabinowitz.
Congratulations to this year's Idol winner. Some other students recently honored include the newly released March Students of the Month, Senior Ayuki Roki, Junior Gabrielle Bodai, Sophomore Sakik Jordan Gleason, and Freshman Cameron Dockery. Check the LDTV listings for when their interviews show during the Cherokee March Students of the Month. Also honor our paraprofessionals, Mr. Gary Denosbeck and Mrs. Felicia Proger, and athletic trainer, Mrs. Karen Hess and Mr. Jeff Wood, as March Employees of the Month for their outstanding assistance to the fellow faculty members.
The acronym that every Cherokee student should know by heart. Brandon Herr finds out how AIR was started and if students really are getting the memo.
3 words, 1 acronym, a fixture in Cherokee High School. The acronym AIR can be found all over CHS. Hallways, classrooms, and even agenda books have the same message.
Accountability, integrity, and respect, as in the acronym AIR. AIR is everywhere. We wanted to make sure that the students knew how much it means to the school, how much AIR is a part of our everyday life at Cherokee, and to be constantly reminded of being accountable, having integrity, and having respect is absolutely paramount to the success of the building and to our school culture.
Administration knows what AIR means to the school, but it doesn't matter if the students don't recognize what's all around them. I found out how often students acknowledge the posters.
I guess every day. I don't really think about it. They're just there. You see like all the time, so you don't really think about it much.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to miss. The history of AIR, however, is less well known.
I believe AIR was started before I got here, but I believe it was a combination of all the administration, including Dr. Smith, Mr. Lee, and Mr. Iannelli came up with the idea of AIR. The poster's been in the school at least 6 years, probably longer. I've only been here 4, my 4th year, so the posters, I would say, have been up around 6 years or maybe a little longer than that.
AIR has been in Cherokee for a while, meaning its core message must be passed down from class to class. I was curious to see how many students actually hear it mentioned in class.
They bring it up from time to time. If a new poster gets put up or something's really that motivational, they'll talk about it in classes.
Not too often, but usually when, they're trying to remind us how to act.
Not often, but they usually start the year with talking about it, and they make sure that that's what they live by and that's what we should live by.
Each year at the freshman seminar, teachers and upper class students talk about what it means to be a chief. They advise freshmen how to spend their next 4 years and talk about how Cherokee students should act. AIR, of course, is a focal point.
I'm going to talk to you guys about No Place for Hate and our core values, AIR.
On April 13th's upcoming Senior Day of Service, the seniors give back to the local businesses and schools around our area, offering service and assistance wherever needed. Seniors, check out your emails for sign-ups. For Chief TV, I'm Brandon Herr.
The annual Senior Day of Service reflects the values exhibited in the AIR initiative. Usually held the Friday before the senior trip, this year's Day of Service takes place Thursday, April 13th, as the park testing window falls during its regularly scheduled day. That Thursday, seniors disperse with chaperones around Marlton and surrounding communities to volunteer their time and efforts cleaning up public areas, interacting with senior citizens and elementary students, and cooking at soup kitchens, just to name a few. Check back during the spring show for some more personal stories from that day.
Switching gears to sports, CTV member junior Christian Connolly sang the half-court shot challenge on January 19th during halftime at the Cherry Hill West vs. Cherokee boys basketball matchup. The Basketball Booster Club started the half-court challenge as a fundraiser to support the team. Christian walks away with bragging rights and free weekly burritos for the entire year. While sinking might be a good thing for basketball, it's the last word you want to describe our next team. The girls' swim team doesn't get a lot of coverage from our show, but their efforts this year deserve a little highlighting. Jake Bowen dives into their season for an inside look.
The girls' 2017 swim team have been working hard and swimming fast.
The girls have their eyes on a victorious season. With rough practices, nail-biting races, and a competitive attitude, the girls are accomplishing even more than they have last year.
We currently have won 2 meets, so it's an improvement from last season. We have won 1 during our regular season and 1 playoff.
Even though the team has its sights set on winning, everyone on the team is like a family, like Jamie Bowen states.
It's a lot of fun. The goal is to have fun. Even if every race isn't a good one, that's okay. And yeah, I really recommend it to everyone.
I'm Jake Bowen, and this is Chief TV.
When we come back, taking the park this year, I know how test scores are used and how opted out will affect you.
Some students in high school are not reading as often as they used to. Next, some tips from their media specialist on how to encourage more personal reading.
Cherokee's rendition of a funny thing that happened on the way to the forum was a great success. Coming up, find out what Cherokee's drama department has selected the spring show and how the cast and crew will help sell tickets.
That and more, so stay tuned.
Welcome back to the 2017 Chief TV Winter Show. Park is here yet again. Janae Crawford sat down with Mr. John McMichael to answer some of the common questions popping up from the students and parents regarding the test.
PARCC, or Partnership for Assessment of Readiness for College and Careers. The PARCC is used to assess students' grades 3 through 11.
Well, like any standardized test, I believe it is designed to, show you your strengths and weaknesses, your progress throughout school. So, from 3rd grade all the way up to 11th, essentially.
PARCC has free resources available on their website where you can do practice questions.
Where you can do practice questions, you can get information about the makeup of the test, how many questions are there, how are they structured, are they multiple choice, are they open-ended, all that. It's like anything else nowadays. In the 21st century where it's all right there on their website.
PARCC helps teachers figure out where their students are struggling and how they can help them.
I'm sure when you guys are done taking the test, you're like, all right, that's over, go back to normal school and doing my normal thing. For us, when we get the results back, it's like, all right, let's get to work, let's dive in, let's see, how did our students do? What did they do really well on? Let's keep doing that. What did they struggle with? Let's work harder on getting better at that.
Students who opt out of the PARCC testing jeopardize their chances of being able to use other tests in place of the PARCC.
Starting with the current freshmen, the state of New Jersey has changed the rules saying that you really can't opt out. And if you do, you jeopardize the ability to use other tests in place of the PARCC. So, for example, like some kids can't pass the PARCC, it's really hard, but they do high enough on the PSAT or the SAT or the ACT. There's a list of other tests. With the current freshmen, they're saying if you opt out, you can't access those alternate tests.
For more information about the park, go to www.parkonline.org. For Chief TV, I'm Janae Crawford.
The Lenape Regional High School District hosted its annual job fair at Lenape High School Thursday, March 2nd. The event started at 4:30 p.m. and ran until 7:30 that night with various businesses in attendance. Tables were set up for representatives from each business to inform students about job opportunities, hand out application papers, and perform interviews with prospective employees. Many students showed up to job search, so good luck to students applying to jobs.
Several senior boys strutted their stuff February 3rd in the 2017 Mr. Cherokee pageant. Alyssa Biederman and Hannah Voro caught up with a few of the contestants here.
Good evening. We are here at Mr. Cherokee, and we are very excited. We're going to be giving you the inside scoop. Hannah, what are we going to be doing tonight?
Well, we did interview all of the guys and asked them some pretty important questions.
Yeah, and we also talked to Mrs. Wood, who's the mastermind behind this, and she's just going to give us a little bit of background on what all goes into this.
Mr. Cherokee is a competition for senior boys. It's been running since 1994. And it is a really fun event for the senior boys to get involved.
I'm here with some very enthusiastic fans. So guys, who are you here to support?
Yes! Our great friend Anthony Tapuma is going to be the next Mr. Cherokee!
And they have to show a talent.
I'm here with Luke Ambrose. So Luke, what is your talent going to be tonight?
I'm going to be playing an original song. It's called Admire. So yeah.
I will be performing a comedic Russian rap along with some background dancers.
Then we crown a winner.
Why should you be Mr. Cherokee?
I don't know. I think over the past couple of years, I've really gotten into Cherokee and had a lot of fun doing stuff here. So I think why not have someone who represents the school, who has fun at the school.
January 16th, the Alicia Rose Victorious Foundation gathered with volunteers to celebrate Teen Cancer Awareness Week. This foundation gives teens with cancer teen kits to make them feel more at home while in the hospital. If you are interested in getting involved in their cause, Cherokee Student Movement Against Cancer, or SMAC, Club volunteers with the Foundation branch at the Voorhees Town Center. To find out more, check out SMAC's e-board for upcoming meetings or contact advisors Mrs. Erica Wickstein.
With all your schoolwork every day, the last thing you might be squeezing into your schedule is some reading for fun. Shannon Rizzo.
The South Media Center is usually bustling with students, but are those students reading? If 150 students are in the Media Center during Lunch and Learn, then why do there never seem to be many students reading in the school outside of the Media Center?
A lot of students coming in and out of the library. We have about 150 students that come in just the South Library during Lunch and Learn. We have a lot of kids in and out in classes. We've had more classes this year than we've had before. And we have a lot of kids here after school. We probably, on average, have about 40 kids here every day after school that we're open.
All students need to do is schedule out a little time each day to read, and soon Cherokee could become a school full of readers. There's already encouragement from the read signs all over school. According to Mrs. McCannis, the freshman curriculum requires reading as a topic of study. If students are encouraged to read in school, there's a better chance that they will become readers for life.
I think kids that aren't reading just need to spend time reading. So I think it's great that the freshman English curriculum has independent reading in it. And so we've been trying to buy a lot of books for the library that appeal to independent readers. Just a book that you can just take time once a week or once every other week in class and just build up your stamina to read by just reading more and becoming, maybe I never got a book out of the library before, but now I have one.
Now that students have been encouraged to read, here are some of their most popular books.
So last year, if you would have asked me that question, I would have said that all the dystopic fiction would have been popular. So that's things like Divergent or The Maze Runner. That was really, really popular. The Hunger Games, all of those types of books. This year, I see kids taking out more realistic fiction. And we've had a lot of circulation of graphic novels this year. So we have a lot of kids reading realistic fiction like always the perennial favorites, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, Looking for Alaska by John Green, The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I'll Give You the Sun, that was that's been popular this year. Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell. So those kind of realistic teen coming of age stories are more popular.
After all, the Media Center had a large circulation of Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children in the beginning of the year due to the students being encouraged to read those novels. The contest in the South Media Center is another good way to encourage Cherokee students to read.
We also have a reading incentive program that if you use your library card to check out 3 books during the semester, at the end of the semester we're going to pull a prize. It's going to be a Barnes & Noble gift card. So we're trying to encourage kids to check out often. If they don't like a book, they should bring it back, find something they like better. And I think the independent reading in all the grades will help students become readers for life, I hope.
Happy reading. For Chief TV, I'm Shannon Mizzo.
Picking up a book of your choosing during your spare time can help with building literary connections, which are helpful both in social interactions and even testing.
The Board of Education recently approved the 2017-18 District School Calendar. The printable version is available on the school and district websites. It's currently this Tuesday, September 5th, as the first day of classes. Winter break starts with a single session day, Friday, December 22nd, with classes starting up again Tuesday, January 2nd. Spring break begins Friday, March 30th, with classes beginning again Monday, April 9th. The administration hopes for all students and parents to use the calendar to plan for attendance during the school years to give each student the best chance to complete courses to the best of their abilities.
From talent in the classroom to talent on stage, Jamie Stewart tracked down the movers and shakers of the school musical to find out what we can look forward to for the spring show.
Cherokee's Drama Productions hits the stage again this spring with Anything Goes. The Cherokee Theater program includes an extremely talented group of students. They perform 2 shows a year, one in the fall and another in the spring. Mr. Fizzicara chose the light-hearted comedy as the spring show strategically.
Several factors. We look at the cast that we have, the talent that we have, how many people are going to be in the show. Vocal parts are also very important sometimes. In particular with Anything Goes, we were looking for something on the classical end that we knew we had some real dancing power, so we're going to do something with some pap in it, something that we thought would be excitable for the audience. So a lot of singing, a lot of dancing, and a lot of comedy, and I don't want to spoil the rest, but it's very funny now.
Last fall, the Chiefs Drama Department brought another comedy to the Performing Arts Center with their production of A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum.
People should come see Anything Goes because it's a really good show. It's very entertaining. It's full with dance numbers and fun stuff to watch, and also all of your peers and friends are going to be there and you want to support them.
The cast and crew are working very hard to prepare this show, so make sure you come out and see Anything Goes this spring at Cherokee High School. For Chief TV, I'm Jamie Stewart.
Thanks, Jamie. Looking forward to getting my ticket. That will do it for the 2017 Chief TV Winter Show. For Jack Lambert and everyone here in the studio, I'm Chris Cato, signing off.